So my name is Nkosinathi Mushwana. I am the Chief of Operations at Prime Stars, which is a national youth development organization. It's been running for 18 years. And I also sit on the board of the Youth Start Foundation, whose mandate is to extend the impact of these projects into rural communities.
Amazing. So what about the boys? Excellent initiative, I have to say. So you are working with 10,000 high schools. 10,000 high schools. Can you please tell us about this initiative and the high schools that you are involved with?
So I'll take a few steps back. The work that we do in this space, particularly in the country, has been predominantly focused on uplifting, supporting, and educating young people from under-resourced and outlying communities across the country. Over the last 20 years almost, we've impacted the lives of over 1 million young people in various spheres, mainly academic, in entrepreneurship, financial literacy, career guidance, and math and science. And about 2 years ago, because of the model that we use, which is cinemas as our theaters of learning. So I'm not sure if you've been to watch any of the latest releases like Elvis or Jurassic Park, but if you've been in the cinema recently, you've probably sat in one of my classrooms.
Okay.
And why we did that is because of the audience we target, which are high school learners from grades 8 to 12, and they engage with the edutainment model to get these outcomes. Mm-hmm. So about 2 years ago, we got approached to use this model to really address and speak to the scourge of gender-based violence in the country. And in doing our research, we started engaging with subject matter experts, and of course also looked to the National Strategic Plan that was put together by the Gender-Based Violence and Femicide Response Fund.
Yeah.
And we wanted to particularly focus on prevention. And thinking of prevention led us to the fact that the stats tell us that perpetrators are men, which means that these men who were perpetrators at some stage were boys.
Correct.
And if we wanted to create gender-based violence, we would have to start at the core of the problem, which in this case we then unpacked through the input of experts, is having to break free from the traditional expectations of masculinity. Hence, then what led us to the name, What About the Boys? And you're right. So we have a long-term goal of 10,000 schools. We've got a short-term goal this year of 10,000 boys.
Okay.
So this year, we will be reaching 10,000 boys through the initiative. And we've put together a model that helps them break free from stereotypes, that helps them accept and connect with others, and speak up and stand out against bullying, and of course, accept and connect with others. So What About the Boys is designed to help redefine masculinity to stop GBV.
Mind-blowing. I am a fan of that initiative, I have to say. So you spoke of experts. So who are the experts involved, rather? Or because I know it's mental health related mostly. So who are the experts that you are working with?
Absolutely. So, gender-based violence is a national pandemic. And what that told us right in the beginning is that there's no way that we'll be able to solve the problem or address it on our own. So the foundation of our response is based on what they call a multi-sector approach. So we've had to bring in various elements of society to create a real social compact and a public-private partnership to deliver a professionally designed, evidence-based and outcomes-based project. So what that means is we had to bring in private sector partners, we had to bring in GBV stakeholders and experts, we had to bring in academia, the media like yourselves, because you're able to drive the message into the country, particularly our goal of raising a nation of good men. And then, of course, we had to bring schools and society, parents as well, to get behind this initiative. We must break boys out of the conventional expectations of manhood. We must be able to teach them that because we teach them when they grow up that you can't cry, you can't be vulnerable, you have to be strong, you have to be dominant, and you show your power, through your money, you show your power through how many women you have, you show your power through all these different means. But actually, masculinity has evolved. It's important that we teach boys that vulnerability and being able to connect and accept with others, and being able to understand the LGBTQI plus community, be able to understand that women are not, our objects or just physical subjects. These are all topics we had to bring together for What About the Boys. So the experts that joined us on this journey, and it's quite an audacious journey to get on, to say that we want to address GBV head on.
Yeah.
But What About the Boys will be the country's first national preventative movement focused on the boy child. We started the journey with organizations such as Chieta, the Chemical Center, Cecil, the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, the Ford Foundation, as well as Siriti and Markham, who in fact have dressed me today.
Nice.
And these are organizations who said to themselves, we've got to get behind this movement, and in order for us to create a movement, we have to get big business involved. The next step was to get government involved through the Gender-Based Violence and Femicide Response Fund, as well as the Department of Social Development and the Department of Basic Education. And then we got those stakeholders around the table. But one of the most important are the GBV experts. So we are facilitators of these national programs and we reach critical mass. But the experts are academics, including individuals like Professor Maloselanga from WITS, are organizations like Love Life, organizations like Power, organizations like Sonke, Father and Nation, Young Men's Movement, who are contributing to making this happen. And I'm also very proud to have Dr. Jerome Fokeng and Dadeselo Makekantube also contributing their expertise to help us tell the story in a way that will create the kind of national movement that we want to see taking place.
Amazing. And we just had a conversation prior to us doing this interview that What About the Boys is not only in Gauteng, it's a national initiative. So how do people get involved? Because it sparked quite some interest.
Absolutely. So one thing that people don't know is that one of my co-founders with the project is actually one of the executives who were responsible for introducing a project like Take Your Girl Child to Work Day with Cell C, and it remains one of the flagship programs which we love, and I think has been one of the biggest contributors to social change in the country. Yeah. We have the same kind of vision for this initiative to not be a 1 or 2 year or 3 year program, but we've got a 20, 30-year vision to change an entire generation of boys so that we can raise a nation of good men to stop GBV. So our national approach is actually inclusive in its nature. We are starting with boys, high school boys, both in public and private schools, because GBV is, it doesn't discriminate against any sort of demographic, socioeconomic level, or even race. So we've got to run it in all 9 provinces and speak to these audiences. How it will run is we've done the production of a national film because we teach through edutainment. You and I were talking about it earlier. Edutainment works because we can connect with the audience and through story be able to begin delivering narratives that inspire the behavioral change we want to see our boys take up as their own responsibility. So we start with the screening of a film which kicks off on the 13th of August nationally, and I'm looking forward to seeing it at the cinema in October.
I'll definitely do
So the film introduces the topics I've alluded to around traditional masculinity and new norms.
Yeah.
The film is then extended through a booklet, a educational workbook that is worked on with teachers in their schools to extend on the lessons they've learned. That process is then extended through a mentorship movement, which we have actually curated with mentorship experts on providing the right mentors who are vetted and who've got the right kind of approach to the project to work through our 6-step process in mentoring boys. And in the background, we've even provided a free-to-use online learning platform with no data costs for Cell C SIM cards. And finally, we've got a pledge for the boys as well as pre- and post-assessments. So that will run in all 9 provinces in high schools. If a school wants to participate, or if there's other organizations that want to get involved in helping us go from 10,000 to 20,000 boys, I would encourage you to get onto our website, primestars.co.za, and send us your details. Our team will be in touch. Otherwise, we are Prime Stars SA on all social media platforms. Please do get in touch and let's raise a nation of good men.